Ayukwi. Hello, I am Keeya Wiki, a freshman at Ashland High School. This is me with my two sisters, Tamaya, a senior at Ashland High School, and our little sister Annie, a second grader at Willow Wind. I am going to share about Indigenous Peoples Day, including practicing a land acknowledgement with you and inviting you and your family to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day with us at Ashland High School. You may have heard lots of names for Indigenous peoples, including American Indians or Native Americans. All of these terms refer to people whose ancestors are from the land we now call the United States. Did you know there are over 500 Native American tribes in the United States? Every tribal nation has its own language, cultural norms, and rules for who is a citizen of the nation, exactly like other nations or countries like Mexico or Canada. Most Indigenous people use the name of their tribe to identify themselves. You can always ask questions if you aren't sure what word to use. Now, here's a map of Oregon. Do you know whose land we live on? Before Oregon was a state, all of the land in Oregon was a tribal land. And here in Ashland, we live on the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples' land. Today, there are 9 federally recognized tribes in Oregon, which are represented by those small blue dots. This is a formal land acknowledgement created by Ashland Middle School's Native American Student Union. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects Indigenous peoples as traditional stewards of this land and the enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous peoples and their traditional homelands. Now, let's practice this together. I'll read it first, and then let's all read it together. We acknowledge that the sacred land we live and learn on today belongs to the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples. We honor and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we now call the United States. We recognize the Native American peoples' continuing connection to land, place, waters, and community. We pay our respects to their culture, country, and elders, past, present, and emerging. Now, all together. We acknowledge that the sacred land we live and learn on today belongs to the Takelma, Shasta, Modoc, Klamath, and Umpqua peoples. We honor and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we now call the United States. We recognize the Native American peoples' continuing connection to the land, place, waters, and community. We pay our respects to their culture, country, and elders, past, present, and emerging. As I shared, my family and I are Indigenous peoples from the native nations of the Yurok and Tallawahdaini here in the U.S. Who has been in Crescent City? Raise your hand. Yeah. Did you know that that was the land of the Tallawahdaini people? Repeat after me. Crescent City is Tallawah land. Good job. The photo on the left is me and my cousins participating in a traditional Yurok ceremony called the brush dance. You can see we are wearing basket caps and dresses made of buckskin. Our necklaces are made of abalone shell and pine nuts. The photo on the right is traditional Yurok redwood plank house on the banks of the Klamath River. You know, Native people in this region didn't live in teepees. Our family has lived in the Yurok village on the Klamath River in Northern California since the beginning of time. And even though we practice traditional Indigenous ways, including practicing Native ceremonies, we're kids just like you. Here I am having a picnic with my friends in the park and on a float in the Ashland High School homecoming parade. Yurok people are fighting alongside other Klamath River tribes for the largest river restoration project in the history of the world, happening right here in Ashland's backyard. Who is studying water in the classes? Raise your hand. Great. Hopefully, you'll get to ask questions and learn about the Klamath River dam removal story. On the left is a photo of our auntie, Susan Mastiff. She was the president of the National Congress of American Indians and the former chair of the Yurok Nation. Who can read her t-shirt? Why do you think she would wear a t-shirt that says voter while holding a sign about the Klamath River? Who has an idea? Raise your hand if you've been to the town of Klamath or on the Klamath River. Now, here's a map of the Klamath River and the dam that will be removed. Who can see Ashland on the map? Yes, and those red circles are the dams. See how close they are to us? And the photo on the left is our Auntie Amy Bowers-Cordalis, a Yurok attorney who graduated from Ashland High School. You can find her in films like Art of Fish, and she has a book coming out soon. And she even grew up here. Another famous Indigenous leader from Ashland you should know is Winona LaDuke. Who has heard of her? Raise your hand. Or her mom artist, Betty LaDuke? Any other students identify as Indigenous or Native American? Do you want to introduce your tribe and share anything about your family or the land you come from with your class? Everyone, how will you honor Indigenous Peoples Day? You and your family are invited to celebrate Ashland Indigenous Peoples Day with me and my family, Thursday, October 6th, from 4:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Speakers at 5 p.m. at the Ashland High School Quad. We really hope to see you there. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, everyone!